Hey guys, how's it going today? I hope you guys are having a great day. I just felt like filming a video outside today. Just kind of felt like being a little bit different. So why not? I hope you guys like the background. I think it looks kind of nice. I don't know. See what happens. See how long I stay here. Hey there, how's it going? Good, thanks. So today's video is actually going to be a little bit different. Not really going to talk too much about photography and like how to take pictures. More so about how I just found photography and how I got into it. A little bit more of a background about me and a little bit of my work history, how I kind of just found photography in general, and how it pushed me here to having my own real estate media company. So let's just dive right in from the beginning. I brought my notebook, so I didn't forget any points. Let's jump back to 2017. So at that point, I had just graduated school, was still very confused about what I wanted to do in the future. Did I want to go back to get my master's? Did I want to get an entry-level role and just kind of work my way up? I just felt really lost, and I think at that point, I was gearing towards getting ready to go back to school, but I needed to work in order to save up to go to school. So I got a job at Mountain Equipment Co-op, which if you don't know what that is the best store in probably all of Canada. It is unbelievable, the best outdoor store possible, and I actually loved it there. I worked there for 2 years and I was trained in every single category except for climbing and cycling. Those were just the only two things that I wasn't actively doing, and I wasn't going to give someone advice about harnesses and ropes, and I didn't really see a future there in terms of growth. All of my managers who were just above me, we were all about the same age or within like 5 to 7 years of each other, so I knew that they were going to be there for a long time, and yeah, I just didn't really see the growth there. And so then I just started to apply for a bunch of different jobs, any sort of entry-level job. I was just started to apply for. It was probably, I don't know, like 30 to 40 jobs a day. I was just kind of going nuts for a couple of weeks there. I had a few interviews, and then one finally hit. I got a job with a tech company as a customer success specialist, which in reality is just a fancier term for customer service. Things started off really great at that job. I had great team members who I still talk to today. I was going through training really well, and then one team member actually left during my time of training, so I actually got transferred, same role, but I got transferred just into a different part of it, just working with a different tech. And then a few weeks later, I had my first customer call. It was a really big client, and I was informed that they were not a big fan of us and that I was in charge of fixing this relationship and just making sure that everything was going to go back on track. So going into this first call with this client, I knew that, you know, the relationship wasn't that great, but I was just going to introduce myself to see if we can get off to a fresh start, a fresh look, and just kind of see what happens. Didn't really go as planned. So when I jumped on the call, I explained who I was, I explained what my role was going to be, working with them, making sure that they were always going to be happy, making sure that if there's any issues, they were going to come right to me. And as I got interrupted, what this customer said will haunt me forever. I'll paraphrase here because I don't really know the exact quote. He interrupted me and let me know that I seem like more of a problem than a solution. Talk about my first call with a client. That was a shock to me. I was not expecting that at all. A few months into that role, I was meeting with clients and I thought all of my other client interactions went well, but I just wasn't fully feeling satisfied in that role. I just didn't think that it was for me. Working with tech was something that was completely new to me, and then everybody worked from home. We are on full lockdown. You are not allowed to leave your house, ever. In this time of being at home and really just having all that time to myself, it honestly felt like my brain was melting. I felt like I wasn't learning anything. I felt like I was just becoming dumber. I don't know how else to explain it other than it just felt like my brain was melting. Until I started to find photography videos on YouTube. I don't even remember what video I was watching, honestly, but on the sidebar, a photography video popped up, and it was about a sunset photography shoot. It was a good thumbnail. I clicked it. I started watching it. Turns out it was just this guy who had a GoPro camera strapped to his chest. He was walking in his city, and it was just him taking street photography at sunset. That was it. Just a POV cam of him taking photos, and that video just opened up a whole new world for me, honestly. I was watching this video and I was just stunned at what a camera could do. I'd never really put thought into it before. It was just blowing me away, some of the images that this guy was getting. North Borders, by the way. If you're into photography or you just like looking at cool stuff, follow him. He's fantastic. And then I watched another video and another video and another video, and I just kept getting more amazed about what these people were doing, whether it be portrait photography, street photographers, car photographers. It was just blowing my mind at what people were doing with cameras. And it was at that point I decided that I wanted to give photography a try and I wanted to learn everything. So I I spent the next 2 months, seriously 2 months, of videos of how to shoot a camera in manual mode, how does the camera work, what's aperture, what's shutter speed, what's ISO, how does this all come together when you put your camera in manual mode, what the is the exposure triangle. I filled up a notebook just like this. Honestly, I think about half of it was just notes I was taking watching these videos. So after 2 months of doing research and really thinking that I wanted to do this, my 25th birthday was coming up and I treated myself by buying a Canon SL2, which you are watching me on right now. I was so excited when this camera came in. I opened up the box, put it in my hands, put it in manual mode immediately, and had no idea what to do. The screen was all white and then it went all black, and I didn't really understand what the was going on. But I just kept trying. I put 2 months of research into this, so I might as well give it a try. I played around with aperture priority mode so that I could at least control the aperture, making sure that if I wanted a creamier background, if I wanted that out of focus background, I could just put my f-stop at a really low number, or if I wanted to try to get everything in focus, I could put up my aperture to like f8 or f11. I was just trying different things. I was just trying to understand how the camera works. I did that for a little bit, and then eventually I was like, hey, let's just put it in manual mode and see what happens. Probably took me about 2 weeks of shooting every single day, but I eventually got the hang of it. My routine started to become wake up, take photos, lunch break, take photos, after work, take photos. That's all I wanted to do in my spare time, was to just take photos. If you've been following me on Instagram for a while, you'd know that sunset photos was really where I found my love for photography. Oh what? Oh what? Oh what?
Come on. Go, bad boy.
Oh, no worries at all. It's always the smallest dogs with the biggest bark. I was just so happy taking photos, and then lost my job. Yeah, that was the most lost I think I've ever been in my life. Had no sense of direction, unmotivated, and just really confused and what was going to happen to me over the next few months, what my plan of attack was, but in general just felt lost. Didn't want to plan anything. I kind of just like was really negative to be around. But the only thing I did want to do was take photos. So I would just go on hikes, clear my head with my camera, and the only thing I honestly wanted to do was hold my camera in my hands and take photos, go home and edit them, and rinse and repeat that process. Fast forward a little bit, and I was introduced to a real estate photographer. Now this real estate photographer was looking to hire a photographer, so it wasn't just him. It was going to be him and this other photographer. We had a meeting. I thought the meeting went really well. I went to a couple of shoots with him just to watch him and kind of follow him, see what this was all about. I think it was like the 3rd or 4th shoot. He let me take the camera and just kind of like help me out, and I was taking the photos and I was doing this and I was doing that, and then in the evenings he would send me like a handful to edit and then kind of walk me through how to edit them. We'd get on calls and we would talk about doing it, how to do it, what to look for, why certain things were happening, why this shot was underexposed, just every sort of kind of instance. I decided to give it a go. He brought me on, and I didn't really love real estate photography at first. Like compared to photographing trails on walks and doing sunsets by the water and just like taking time to like enjoy the sun, real estate photography just kind of felt boring. It didn't really excite me as these other portions of photography. But then I got paid the first time for taking photos of people's houses. Everything changed after that. What this kind of spiraled into was taking some headshots for friends, letting me use them as test dummies, doing family portraits, doing sport photography. A few of my friends play a couple of different sporting events, so I would just go out to their games. I still do, and I'm kind of the team photographer for them. Not that that has any compensation, I just do it for fun. I give them the photos, and it's my invite to the team party at the end of the year. So I just started taking every single photo opportunity I could get. Everything was going really well. We were working great together. We had a seamless relationship. The trust was built between me and him. The trust was built between me and our clients. And the more that I was doing real estate photography, the more that I was falling in love with it. The more about design I cared about, the more about the angles I cared about, the gorgeous kitchens. And then you start playing around and you get those zoomed in looks and you start playing around with different settings. It's just, real estate photography is honestly great, and I highly recommend you try it out. It's a lot of fun. I love it now. After 2 years, I became really confident in myself. I was super confident in the photos I was taking, in my editing, in the videos I was making. I just felt really high on myself, and I just wanted more. And it started to feel like I was already spending so much time with this, taking the photos, doing the editing, making the videos, doing all of it. I was already spending so many hours. I just wanted more. So then the time came for me to open up my own real estate media company and really pursue this as a career path and start my own business and seeing what I can do with it. I wanted to attack this industry on my own. I wanted to come at it with my ideas and what I see and how I see houses, and really all there is to it is that I wanted to be a photographer. I wanted to be able to provide for my future. I just wanted to do more, and I know that I'm capable of it, so I just wanted to give it a try, and here we are. I'm still very fresh at it. I've been growing month over month, and every day I'm trying to build it. I'm trying to build that brand and trying to build that loyalty where people see my name and they know what they're getting, they know the expectations, and they know that they're going to get the best client experience possible. So that is, well, yeah, that is how I got my start in photography, just kind of my quick little journey there, and hopefully you guys really did enjoy it. But I did just want to leave you here with one final message, and that's just that if there's anything that you want to do in your life, do it and go full send at it. Just attack it with your whole mindset and work hard with it. Life is way too short, and if there's something that you've always wanted to do it. And once you start, that's the hardest part, and you've already done it. Starting anything is the hardest part, and when you start something, you're probably going to be bad at it, like anything else. But if you keep doing it and you enjoy it, do it more, and you will get better at it. Just, yeah, life is way too short, and if it's something that you've wanted to do it. So hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video. If you did, you can hit the like and subscribe button, and I will catch you guys in the next one for more photography stuff. And hope you guys have a great day. See ya!